Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Today we are doing a Shop My Stash and we are putting together this look, including that wing. Look at that wing. Yes. Okay. Anyways, before we get into the video, please comment on this video. Please like, subscribe, you know the drill. Just press all the happy buttons on the page and let's go shop my stash. We'll shop my stash. I'm going to go in with primer first and I'm going to use the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. This is my second time using this, and the first time around I honestly did not understand the hype. I know a lot of people really love this and it was fine, but it really did not react well with my moisturizer and everything just kind of peeled off my face. So I wanted to give this a second shot, and I think I will go in with a pore filling primer after this as well, but this is just to give me a nice moisturized base. For the pore filling primer, I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is a lot of people's staple primer. They say it's a good dupe for the Tatcha and try to alleviate some of that texture and visible pores when I put on my foundation. Right now, since we're getting into the makeup application part, I just zoomed in a little bit more so we can be closer to see the application, but I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Matte Foundation. I'm going to do just a quick swatch on my face to see if this is going to match me. It is a little bit light, so I'm going to mix it with something else. This is the Purito BB Cream. I'm going to put a little bit of this on and see. That is also a little bit light, so I'm just going to keep going and see what'll match me. I do know right now my NARS foundation is a little bit darker than my skin, so maybe I'll do a mix of those three. It's a little bit yellow for me, but that's all right. I'm gonna go ahead and start blending this out, and then we'll kind of go from there and see what the shade match is looking like. It's actually a pretty good shade match. It is slightly lighter than my natural skin tone, but I will warm it up with bronzer and everything. So I'm just gonna do the same thing on this side. I like this Purito BB cream. However, I hate the shade. I feel like it looks really gray on me. And when I picked it out, now I'm going in with the NARS. When I originally picked it out, there were only 3 options on Yes Style, which is where I got it from. Then I saw somewhere online that they have way more than 3 options that you can get. So obviously I should not have gotten this shade. I just really don't like it. I feel like it makes me look very gray. It's not a knock on the product or anything, it's really just the shade selection. They really only had those 3 options, which was like a light, medium, and dark. So I'm gonna go in with concealer, and that is gonna be my Hourglass Vanish Concealer. This is in Silk. I really like this. It's very full coverage, and the wand is just really nice and tiny. Well, not tiny, but it's like normal sized, and compared to my e.l.f. Camo Concealer that has a huge wand, it's just really great for pinpointing your placement and getting really close to the lower lash lines. And I did bring that further down than I usually would, just because I have some blemishes in this area and this area over here that I want to cover up. I'm gonna blend this out. And then for powder, I'm going to go into the Cloud Set powder from Kosas. This is in the shade Comfy. And I have a terry cloth / velvety feeling sponge here. And I'm just going to go like this, get some on the sponge, and then set under the eyes and on the face. I do really like this sponge for pressing in powder. It really helps make it look more natural and not so cakey and powdery. And I got this for $1 from Shop My. But I also wanted to just do this side of my face first to show you how blurring the Kosas powder is. First of all, I really like the shade. I think that it matches me pretty well. I mean, maybe it's a little bit yellow, but I think that it generally does a good job matching. And I didn't even have to use much powder, and it really just blurs the pores really nicely. Let me zoom in and show you. No pores on this side whatsoever. And on this side, you can just see much more texture. Let me go now on this side and set everything. And there we go. It's just a really nice airbrushed look. It reminds me a lot of the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin, but it's just much more light, much more airy, and it doesn't look as cakey on the skin. I love this stuff. I think my skin looks its absolute best when I use this Makeup Forever powder. However, it does look a little bit more textured and a little bit more makeup-y on the skin. Before I go any further, I'm gonna go in with some setting spray just to melt this into the skin a little bit more. This is the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist, and this is an interesting interesting product. At first when I tried it over the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation, and I did not feel like it added any dew. But then I tried it over the matte foundation from Makeup Forever, and then I saw a lot of dew. So it really depends on what you put this over. I mean, really all setting sprays or primers, it really depends what you're mixing it with. But I really want to see, since I did use that NARS again, but I put a powder on top, I want to see what the finish is with this Tatcha. I'm going to take that sponge and just press everything in, especially underneath the eyes, because that'll help mitigate the creasing. I won't get rid of it because I do have a lot of creases under my eyes, but it'll help it more so it's not as creepy and greasy. Now it's time for some bronzer. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Staple in my collection, staple for a lot of people's collection. This is one of the project pans I'm working on this year, and it's just such a nice bronzer. I love it. This is just the perfect bronzer for me, and every time I buy something different, it could be nice, but it will never ever compare to this. Like, nothing is ever better. So that's why I decided to do a project pan of this and not really buy any other bronzers until I'm done with this Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, because honestly, there's nothing better. And especially it's at the drugstore, it's affordable, and it's just great. For blush, I just went in with the Patrick Ta Duos. This is the newer shade called She's Blushing. And then I went in with one of his new glosses as well. This is the shade Superficial. It's one of the plumping glosses, and I went in with a lip liner. This is the LA Girl Perfect Precision Lip Liner in the shade Blushing. We're gonna do my Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette. This is Midnight Sun. I think this is 6 or 7, I always forget. I really want to use the purple. Gotta put in my transition shade, so I'm gonna take a fluffy blender brush and go into that more camel shade right here and just start buffing that throughout the crease. This is not an everyday palette for me. I mean, they do have the browns in there and some shimmers that you could make an everyday palette out of, but for me, I really like the green and the purple and those astral shades. I think that they're really, really pretty, but I don't wear those on a daily basis. So while I think it's a very, very pretty palette, I don't think it was necessarily worth the money just because it's $125, and I like rarely wear it just because, again, it doesn't really speak to me on an everyday basis. It's more like a special occasion, like glittery fantasy type of palette to me. And now I'm gonna go in with the deeper tone right here. I don't know that this is necessarily gonna match, but I just want a little bit of something on the outer corner, and I don't wanna take that super dark brown, so I'm just gonna take a really, really slight amount and go on the outer corner with that. I'm gonna go in with this purple shade now that I was talking about, and I'm just gonna swipe that across the lid. Let's go in with the finger and see how that looks. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get a brush. Ooh, not that one because I just dropped it. And I'm not gonna put any more product on here, but I am just gonna go on my lid and kind of diffuse that and blend it across the entire lid. Now I'm gonna take this brush, go into the purple shade, and I'm gonna spray it with some setting spray. I've never done this before, so I just wanna see how this shade performs. I wouldn't say that there's a major difference or anything. Maybe a little bit more glittery and a little bit more opaque, but not a huge difference, I don't think. See, I think you could do your finger or a brush. It's really up to you. But you're gonna get a similar look with both. I was going for simple, but clearly we're not. We're doing a purple smoky eye. I'm gonna go back to that original blender brush and go into the darkest shade in the outer corner and blend it with the purple. I'm gonna be careful here because this is a really dark shade and I don't wanna go overboard. So I'm just gonna pop it in there like that on both sides and now start blending. I'm gonna take a smaller brush now and start blending that through the crease and a little bit above. And now I'm gonna take a completely clean blending brush and just go over the edges and make sure everything is nice and blended. All right, that looks nice, much more intense than I was going for, but it looks nice. We'll just add some more makeup around it to make sure it all matches. Last but not least, I mean, I feel like I always use this astral shade, the silver one, but I feel like I can't use the orange or the gold. I just don't think that they would go. Let's see with the gold. Let's see with the silver. Yeah, I just feel like the silver would look much better with this look. So silver it is. Taking that same brush I used for the purple, and this does have a lot of fallout, so I'm going to spray it. Never bad to just put on glitter. Always down for a little bit of more glitter. Go into the lighter brown shade that we already used and just smoke out the lower lash line and really focus on connecting it right here so that it looks seamless. I'm gonna take a little bit of dark shadow, the darkest one on the palette, and just line right here to act as a little bit of an eyeliner. A small blending one, and blend out the edge of that a little bit. Okay, last step is going to be some inner corner highlight and brow bone highlight. Lightest shimmer shade under the brow bone on both sides and on the inner corner. And now I'm going to go in with liner. I'll do my lashes and I think then we'll be done. But let's do liner first. I got this stamp eyeliner from iMethod Beauty. They sent it to me. Very exciting, my first PR. They wanted me to do a review or a how-to, and I said, I can't really do a how-to because I am not an eyeliner expert at all, but I can certainly review it and see if it's good for hooded eyes. It comes with a stamp, and then it comes with just like a straight normal eyeliner, liquid eyeliner as well. You get a dual tip, and with the wing you get a dual tip as well. So I'm assuming one goes on one side and one goes on the other. I think I'm gonna do the wings first, just in case I like really badly F it up, and then we'll go from there. I'm just gonna take the stamp and try to place it where I would normally do a wing. Oh, I'm nervous. I really hope I don't mess this up. Ooh, it actually worked pretty well. I'm a little shocked. Okay, now this is going to be tricky to actually get them even. Also, my eyes are very different shapes. I think I put it a little bit too low, but it did work. Now let me go in with the eyeliner and kind of connect that so I don't just have a random wing on my face. I'm not gonna lie, that's the best wing I've ever had. I'm not good at winged eyeliner though. Let me preface it by saying that shockingly worked so much better than I thought it was going to. I did not think that was going to work on me at all. This side I'm just cleaning up a little bit because I did it a little bit too low. Not the fault of the eyeliner or anything, just user error. There's no question. That is by far the best my wing has ever looked. Ever, ever, ever. I can't do that by myself. I try, but I can't. I'm actually really, really impressed by this stamp. I never really thought it would work on me. I never thought that these stamps really worked in the first place, or on hooded eyes especially, but that looks really, really nice. I don't think it's waterproof though, because I do have like leakage down here because my eye is watering, and at some point it kind of just looked like a water splotch over here. Again, I did pull it down too far though when I put that stamp on originally, but damn, that looks good. And I just cleaned up like the water spot. And as far as the liner goes, I think it's good. I mean, it's very, very thin, so you can get that nice line. Yeah, I'll have to see how long it wears and everything, but this is like shocking to me. Like, I'm gonna use this every time I wanna do a wing now. I'm gonna do false lashes today, but I'm liking the wing a lot and I really want that to show through, so I'm not gonna put on fake eyelashes. While I curl my eyelashes too, I've been holding on to that stamp for a while. So they sent it to me, and maybe a couple months ago, maybe like a month or two ago. I wish I tried it sooner, because look at that. Look at that wing. Damn. Now if only my eyelashes would curl, I'd be in a good spot. I am just having a little bit of leakage over there. That's why I say I don't think it's waterproof, because my tears are making it smudge a little bit. I just have like the wateriest eyes, and particularly this one waters a lot. Let me just go in with some mascara. I think I'm almost at the end of this mascara. It's just starting to feel a little dry and empty, so I'd say I have like, I don't know, 3 more uses. Put some white eyeliner in my waterline. I always do this. I think it brightens up the eye so much. I mean, look at that compared to that side. Whoa! Let's quickly do some brows. That was a BH Power Pencil, by the way, in white, and then this is the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. I really like the shade of this. I feel like it just matches me really well. It also has the softest spoolie ever on this end, which is really nice. It's not a scratchy spoolie, it's just super soft. And now just some clear ABH brow gel. All right, and there we go. Here's here's the look. My not on purpose, super smoky eye, and shop my stash. Just wanted to do a fun shop my stash video because I don't do that a lot, and I'm trying to not buy anything new unless it's like really revolutionary or groundbreaking, and just kind of use stuff that I already have. But thank you so much for sticking with me throughout the entire video. I really appreciate all the support. Please subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next video.